Hello, my name is Kim. I am the author of the Foggy Shore Blog on WordPress, and today I want to talk about, drumroll please, spoons. Okay, not really spoons as utensils, but spoons as representatives of units of energy. Years ago, my friend Heidi showed me this article where a woman talked about using spoons as a way to explain chronic fatigue to someone. So I'm basically going to do that same thing here, except as it applies to my life with a brain injury. So, first thing we're going to talk about is healthy people. Healthy people have a lot of energy. They might not feel like they have a lot of energy, but speaking from this side of things, they have a lot of energy. In fact, here, let's see, I need to put this down because of the noise. Here is how much energy a normal person has when they wake up in the morning. All of this, all of these spoons right here. Because someone without a brain injury, a healthy person, has so much energy, they don't have to plan and scrimp and save every little bit that they have. So they can just like casually use energy however they want. Whether that be, say, I use forks because I don't have that many spoons, but say worrying about where my job will be next year. I have energy for that. Or thinking about how the neighbor down the street is cheating on his wife and chatting about that. I have energy for that. I have energy to stop by the store on the way home and pick up some milk and bread. And I have the energy to surf the internet. Maybe I'll do it a few different times actually, about stupid things. Just like, you know, throughout the day. Say, look up stars, look up, read some like semi-news stuff, and then I'll, what's a stupid internet search? Find out more about the leathers used to make shoes or something. So I do all that, but look, I still have so much energy, so many things I can do. I know most people, healthy people, feel tired at the end of the day, exhausted, but they don't run up against the same wall I do and other people with fatigue that's chronic, where you really can't do one more thing. You can't think one more thought. You can't move one more thing from one place to another. It's just not humanly possible because all your energy's gone. So, that's a healthy person. Let's talk about me. I'd say my lowest energy time was last summer after I had a second head injury. And during that time, I'd say, here, let's see, 5, there we go. Okay, let's talk about me. I'd say, back last summer, I had 7 spoons of energy, for good or ill. So, if I get a good night's sleep, I wake up in the morning, and I'd have 7 spoons to spend for the day. The entire day, I'd have 7 spoons. So, what would I do? First thing I do every day is I take a walk. I prioritize that because I feel like exercise is important for a healthy body, for healing, and also for keep my spirits up and just a healthy overall, be a healthy overall person. So that's my first spoon. That's what I do. Then say I take a walk and then I get home and Mary's still here. She's finishing up her breakfast. She hasn't gone to work yet. So we sit and we chat a little bit while she finishes her breakfast and gets ready to walk out the door. That costs another spoon. Just that little conversation, because conversation is actually a lot of energy. You have to be mentally present. You have to be aware of what's going on. You have to listen to what someone says. You have to process what they say. Then you need to come up with your own things to share back. Then you need to figure out a way to speak them in a somewhat articulate way. And this just goes on and on. So for that little conversation with my lady in the morning, costs a spoon. Then, of course, since food is not magically teleported to my mouth. I have to make myself breakfast. So that costs another spoon. So, it's 10 a.m. I've had breakfast. I've had my walk. I chatted with Mary a little bit. And now I have 4 spoons left for the rest of my day. The entire day I have 4 spoons that I can spend on doing things. This is where, you think, oh, you need to be really careful how you use that energy. Yes. But one of the other things that come with brain injury is my executive functioning is impaired. That means my ability to plan, to strategize, to figure out all the steps needed to get from point A to point B. That's really impaired. So in reality, unless Mary makes me a list that I look at over and over again and follow step by step for the day, if I'm just left to my own devices, which I generally am, and I appreciate that in general, I basically do whatever comes into my mind, whatever I happen to see. So let's say I have breakfast, and I go over to the couch, sit down for a minute, and look out the window. And I see, oh, hey, the bird feeders are empty. I need to fill the bird feeders, because that's one of my things I do. So I fill the bird feeders and spin a spoon. I use a spoon. Not necessarily wisely. The bird feeders didn't absolutely have to get done, but it's what I saw and what I thought of, so it's what I did, and the energy's gone. And say then as I go back to the couch, I see my computer, and I'm like, hey, I haven't looked at Facebook in days. I haven't read my email. How about I get on the computer and I do those things? How about I, look at my Facebook and I read my messages, maybe send an email back. So 20 minutes on the computer, that's another spoon. Computer especially is overstimulating, and doing things like Facebook where you're looking at one thing and then another, like switching attention between different things and ideas quickly is draining. So that little rendezvous with the computer, a little bit of connecting with other people, that's a spoon. Well, shoot. It's 11 a.m. and I have 2 spoons left for the entire day, for the rest of the day. What am I supposed to do? I'm walking to the kitchen to get a snack, and I see, oh, hey, there's a piece of paper on the table. It's a bill from my PT. They charged me wrong. It says I owe a couple $100, but I know I only have a copay, and it should be only be like $40. So I call them to work that out. 5-minute phone call to a business. That's another spoon. Not only the phone call itself, but also the preparation I have to do in order to get to that phone call. So I have to figure out what I'm calling about, like remember that in my mind. Think about what the conversation might be and what questions might come up. Then get the answers to those questions and be clear about what I want the outcome to be. And then write that all down so I can refer to it as I'm actually having the phone call. So I do all those things for a 5-minute phone call to a business. So I'm on the phone. That's another spoon. But wait. When I call, I talk to the admin guy there, and 2 minutes into the conversation, once he pulls up my account, he's like, hey, we don't take your insurance. That's, the bill is right. A little frustration. My anger spikes. My blood pressure spikes. I have this scared feeling, this terror that I'm going to be responsible for a several $100 bill that I can't afford. All that emotion takes energy. And the guy comes back on the phone a minute later and says, oh no, it's fine, you were right, you just owe the copay, it's fine. Even if it gets resolved in like 2 minutes, I still had that emotional reaction, and that is expensive. That costs a spoon. The surge of anger, the surge of fear, the worry, that drains me just as much as a physical activity does. I think most people don't realize, but emotions are just as draining as doing any physical labor is. So that emotional surge cost me my last spoon. So what do? Once I've run out all of my spoons? I rest. That's really all I can do. Sit on the couch and pet a cat. Take a nap. When there's no energy, you can't do anything. So I can't watch television. I can't use the computer. I can't use my cell phone. I can't, heck, even reading a book is outside of my ability. So there's nothing to like dull the boredom of not having energy and just having to sit around until some unknown time when the energy might show back up. It can be really frustrating and really limited. If there's something I really want to do and I haven't been overextending myself in the days prior, I usually, or half the time anyway, can do it. So say if I really wanted to go to the drag ball tonight, I'd rest all day and I'd use caffeine. And once I got there, I'd have no expectation about how long I could stay, because with the noise, the flashing lights, the crowds of people, it being late at night, I have no idea how long I'm going to be able to tolerate that before basically turning into a zombie. So even with the caffeine and the resting all day, it's really, I have no idea how long I'm going to be able to last in that fun environment. Plus, regardless of how long I last, say maximum of 2 hours, the next day, since I basically borrowed energy from the next day, when I wake up in the morning, I'll look, and instead of having 7 spoons, I'll have 4, or if I'm lucky, maybe 5. And just imagine what life is like trying to live an entire day on 5 spoons of energy. You saw I used 3 just getting through breakfast. So imagine how limited and how boring and how frustrating and how intolerable living a day with 5 spoons would be. And that's what I had to share. That's life with a brain injury. That's life with a fatigue that's chronic, that's day after day after day, that affects every aspect of my life. Every hour of my day is affected by this fatigue as a result of this brain injury. So I hope you understand a little bit more now about what's involved and the strategizing and hoarding of energy that's necessary to just try to get some basic things done each day. My name is Kim. I write the Foggy Shore blog. You can find that at the Foggy Shore, all one word, .wordpress.com. Please follow my blog. I would love to have you. Thanks for watching this video. Bye.